Okay, so this is the part 2 of the deliverable, and on the basis of the feedback that I got last time, these are the 5 points that I have highlighted: a brief statement of the pedagogical problem I am trying to solve in moving from one delivery to the other, or I am trying to address; a brief description of how the proposed assignment does so; a summary of the feedback from a peer and a student. I did several peers and several students after I showed them the deliverable; the next steps I will take to address the issues; and finally, it will be open to you for questions and answers. So the pedagogical problem.
Indeed, we're going to try to put this into slideshow mode.
Okay. Okay, sorry.
There we go. That's all right.
Sorry.
Thank
you. So the pedagogical problem, there are 3. One is the summer course, as you said, is condensed. 1 day is equivalent to 1 week, and because I require to disseminate too much material, therefore I feel that it's a good alternative. Number 2, certain concepts here require mathematical detailing, for example, mathematical modeling, for which I propose to do online, and extensive reading is required by my students, and so the links will be available through the URL. So that will be easier for them than me photocopying and giving them, or whatever, letting them find out. Now, before I come to the classroom component, I go to the online components, and in order to show the online component, I want to go to the one thing that I made, which will be better, I think, if I do that way. Yes, suppose I have got 2 topics. I have prepared 2 topics. I have, on the 1 week before my students come in, I will give them a questionnaire. This questionnaire, I will get the names of the students who are coming in. This questionnaire will have 2 basic questions. One is, how comfortable are you in microeconomic theory and analysis? They will do it manually. They will give it to me on the first day of the class, or they can also send me through email. And how comfortable are you in mathematical analysis? On the basis of this, as I said the other day, I will make study groups, which I will duly utilize as I justify. I have got prepared the 2 weeks of lecture. The first week, in fact, this is prior to the first week, week 0, say. This will be available to my students. The introduction in terms of a PowerPoint, introduction to the origin, the basic introduction. Then I will give, I have another PowerPoint, basics of power game theory, that is another Camtasia video. I will also give a commentary on the intro. It will be an informal way of commentary. I will write down, that will be a Word file, so that together with the PowerPoint, this will be a package approach. They will also get the commentary. Then, on the basis of the PowerPoints, I have produced a Camtasia video, which they will see, and they will not only read the PowerPoint, they will also hear my voice, and the 2 will integrate. So that will give them a feel even before they see me. Then I have got 2 videos here. I will keep 1, maybe I will eliminate 1. Then I have done a quiz. I am used to doing quizzes in Stat 351, online quizzes, and being helped by you last time, I have also put in adaptive release. So, your method will work, so that they will not get prisoner's dilemma file in my course documents. They will not get prisoner's dilemma until they do the quiz. And after the quiz, now entire study will be like, the quizzes will be individual, but you will see that I have an assignment based on the material of the first week, the video material, the commentary, everything, and this assignment will be done in groups. That will be, and then I will put up, I have made some forums, which I'm working on it, the forum and discussion board, where the students will be able to discuss, and I will also be there in the forum, and this way I believe the groups will be very useful. Maybe after the summer I will be able to tell you how useful they were, but I spoke to my students, and my students really liked my idea. They told me, how do I go to the bigger? F5. They told me, my students as well as my peer, And okay, and another thing I I have group assignments. As I said, students will work in small study groups, ideally 4 people. Each group will submit one set of questions online. I will also reserve some time in the economics department lab to show them the mathematical online work, and they may want to do, once they learn the methods, they can do it in the lab or they can do outside. I am having a peer evaluation based on online assignments. The 4 people are working together. Each student will complete an anonymous peer evaluation report for the other members of his group after turning in each assignment. And each peer review asks the reviewer to assess the other members' major strengths and weaknesses. It will be a constructive criticism. So everybody must know what the other person is doing. Nobody can be a free rider here. And everybody is reviewing, like 4 people are there, everybody is sending review about the other 3. So nobody can just skip the course by not studying, because, and I will evaluate 5% I've kept for the peer review. How the reviewer, what thought the reviewer has put into the review. That means how well he is into the course, how well the others are in the course. I need no names. I just need the feedback. So that is one way in which I can keep track over what my students are doing. And also the discussion board, I will be very much involved there. The adaptive release, so that I know my students will have to do this. The 0th week, I will put up the material due at the end of the 1st week. By the end of the 1st week, I will put up the material due at the end of the 2nd week, and so on. So I am working and they are working. So I will try to make the summer course as fruitful as possible. And my reviews, my reviewers, feedback from my reviewers, I brought them together. I got good comments, true reflection of a class lecture from Camtasia video and so on. But I'm not that good comments are good. I am more concerned with the teaching design of the evaluators. The good things are there: high level of structure, clearly defined guidelines, efficient management of discussion board, efficient collaboration of students. The students really liked the group concept of being monitored and structured. Use of adaptive release, they liked it very much, the concept. Overall, they felt that there was an overall inclusion of interactivity in the course. However, they had 2 suggestions. One is, how many times are we going to meet? Will it be 1 day, 3 hours? Will it be 2 days, 2 hours each? Because my class is 3 hours, 10 minutes per day, 2 days. So I am at a dilemma here. Exactly, I don't mind coming 2 days, 3 hours, but it's the question of how my students, what I should do, I'm not so sure. Reduce, and then few told me, reduce the number of peer evaluations of each group into 2, one in the middle of the term and one towards the end. This also I have not yet decided. I will have to think, and maybe I will entertain comments from you. And so with the steps that I have taken to address these issues, they take decision of on the number of classes by taking into consideration the circumstances of the incumbent students. Maybe they are working, maybe they will want to come intensively work for 3 hours per day rather than coming 2 days. Maybe I will have to look at the class not as a machine but with a human face, and so I will have to take decisions accordingly. However, and next is peer evaluation, whether I will do it every week or whether I will do it twice over the term. And so this is the general concept that I want to disseminate. If you have questions, I'm here.
I only have one. Why not do the pre-course questionnaire before you do the course, like have it all done online, so when you come in the first day, you have the Blackboard output of it, and you can just do, instead of, I think I mentioned this last time,
I understand. This sort remember we spoke, there were 2 ways. One is quizzing, where the grades come, and the other is survey. Surveys are anonymous on the Blackboard. So anonymous survey, I will not know. I want to know the strengths and weaknesses of persons. I did it.
Quiz.
Huh?
Quiz will do it.
No. Huh?
A quiz won't work.
Quiz won't work.
It requires you identifying a correct answer.
I want the person to own up as to how comfortable that person is in micro 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Well,
How?
You could not have a multiple choice, just have them write it, and then you actually have to go through. But you could have a quiz where you have people
Okay,
just write
I can
things
think
in.
of.
And that way you don't have to force a correct answer.
It did not. I mean, I could not figure it out. Maybe that will be easier for me. Or I can do one thing. I can say this will be on the web. They can send me this as a PDF file.
I think that Chris's point, though.
I don't know. If I were you, I'd try to keep it all on Blackboard rather than, that was one of my comments, rather than having them send you emails.
Okay.
The other thing is, I have done surveys. I think if you, I don't know if this is still the case, but I think if you link the survey to points in the gradebook, then you actually can connect the survey to the student, and it's not anonymous.
Okay,
So
okay,
I think
okay.
quiz might be a better way.
Now
to
I
do
get
that.
you. I get you. I understand. I'll do that.
Question that says, what's your name?
Well, I think Chris's
Yeah,
point,
maybe
though,
subsequent
of
one's not gonna
having
be
them do something before the class starts.
No,
Whether
I
whether
think-
whether it's a questionnaire, whether it's a survey, whether it's an assignment, whatever it is, have that. What you want to do, because you're short on time,
That is what I'm doing.
email out in advance. The course site is now open. You are required to complete this questionnaire for the assignment.
I've got the
group.
questionnaire ready.
And I think he's just saying, and I think that's your point of week 0.
Yeah.
Week 0 is when
Yeah,
you
week
do it.
0 is when the course, that is my point. Week 0 material will be on for week 1. So that when students come, they know what they are doing.
The only reason I don't even think it's a big deal. I just think that if it's easier for you,
I know.
make
It would be
easier.
definitely easy for me.
Let me finish.
If it's just easier, that's all. I like this stuff because it makes my life easier. And
Yeah, I like your idea, but I will try to figure out if I can do it in the quiz book by assigning grades. Grades will give me a feedback of what I really want. If that is possible, I'll do that. Or otherwise, I'll have to go to the second best alternative.
It does raise a good question that I'm kind of interested in hearing from the group is, do you tend to communicate with your students before the class begins?
Karen does.
Of course,
Yeah.
of course. I will start because
Do you find that's pretty
I
common
don't
with
find
faculty?
that is the norm with a lot of faculty.
Uh-huh.
I think it is once you start going to hybrid.
But do you think that is a bad idea?
No, I think
No.
that's
No, I
excellent.
think it's a good idea.
Students kind of like it. I
And
think.
I like what Tim was mentioning earlier about how, and I think especially with this new system we have with registration and whatnot, I think it's going to be really important for students to fully understand what they're getting into before that class begins.
Yeah. Even my syllabus is very exhaustive. I've got everything. Only I've not made it available to my students. If I make it, are they already in?
No.
Not yet.
Been enrolled
Okay.
yet, no.
The moment my students come in, I will make it available. So they can go through. They can even contact me if they want, so that the effective teaching and studying starts from day 1.
Well, the teaching and learning starts when they first hear from you.
Okay.
Or when they first see you. And if that first time they see you or hear from you is the first day of class, so be it. But I've heard from a lot of faculty, and you see this in the graduate courses a lot. The course site is now open. People are going. They're checking it out, and they're forming impressions. They're getting aware of the course, and they're making assumptions about who you are, how you teach, what's expected of them. And that's where I think for summer and winter, that's the time shifting thing that we need to be doing more of. The course begins when we decide it begins. Now, whether they want to participate or not, that's their problem.
And I can also send an email to them to look into the website so that they know that it's open and they can look. In fact, that I generally do even in my regular courses. I start communicating with them 1 week ahead, because that is my norm. But here I have made it a point to do that. One thing I've got a question for you, for the class. How do you think I should allocate the time? 3 hours one day, or 2 hours each day? Or, or should I start experimenting with 2 hours each day, and then if I see gradually students come to know me and come to know what I'm doing, then I can reduce the time? Does it work? Should I go into a trial and error method with this first hybrid teaching?
Well, if the course were not a hybrid,
Then I would go 3 hours, 10 minutes every day.
How many days?
2 days.
Well, if you're going to be there 2 days anyway.
How? Physically and online?
I mean,
I'm just asking.
Katie, you were going to say something? Go ahead.
Well, I think one of the things is, I know you mentioned maybe hearing from students, which I don't think is a bad idea, but
Okay.
at the same time, when I've opened this up, I usually don't get a unanimous decision. Like, what I found is a lot of students, what they like about the hybrid is that they don't have to be on campus as often. So more of them may lean towards that kind of once a week. But some students also complain, well, 3 hours is a really long time to kind of sit in the classroom. I know in the past what I've done is started off more twice a week in the beginning of the summer, because you're only there for 6 weeks, but I think what I did the first 2 weeks, just so that they kind of knew me, they knew the system, and I was really able to kind of capture and kind of, I don't know, not that you can't get that feeling, John, you're probably going to disagree with this, but not that you can't get that feeling online, but if that student isn't participating in Blackboard, I can kind of nail them in person and say, hey, look, we're already at week 5 here, and you're not really active here. What's going on? So I guess almost that's what I would lean towards, is kind of maybe definitely that first week doing 2 days and then moving to maybe less frequently.
Okay, that is good. That is very good. Very good idea. I can trial and error with a bunch of students. Thank you.
All right, is that helpful?
Yeah,
Good.
very
Can I
much.
ask just one question
job.
about your peer review for the group studies? Do you have a rubric that they follow when they're evaluating each other?
Oh yes, I will. Naturally,
Yeah.
naturally. There must be a rubric. Otherwise, one will start whining and pining about the others. Yeah. So is it okay?
Yep.